So one of the biggest challenges I see people run into is printing documents within Excel. Trying to get stuff to fit on a single page, trying to get it to break appropriately where it should as we go from page for page, and various other things that really deal with printing, just getting it ready and presentable. Well, I'm going to show you a few features here that are hopefully going to help you manage larger sets of data as you go to print it. So take a look. Open in front of you, I've got the example file, Excel 102 exercises, and I'm on the sales data worksheet down below. Now I'm going to make a couple of quick little adjustments here before I go to print this. Just things that I'm noticing right away. Like I can see that frozen yogurt is kind of cut off and salesperson is cut off. So I'm going to increase my column widths here. Let's just make C a little bit wider there. We'll make D a little bit wider. All right, so I know that that's an issue right there. I'm just trying to make that stuff fit within the columns before I print it. Something small, but just increase the column widths. All right, now let's take a look at what this document looks like if I were to print it right now. Let's go to File, and I'm going to go down to Print. All right, here's my document. So it doesn't look like much, but you know what? Ooh, I've got 18 pages worth of content here. So on the very first page, I've got my header, I've got my column headers, but it looks like I'm cutting off a couple of the columns, right? I think we also had order number that was out there as well and one other, okay? So something's breaking across the page. Now let's go ahead and go to page 2. Page 1 of 18, I'll go to page 2, just hit the arrow. Here's my page 2. Now what am I looking at? You know, if I go back to page 1, I've got the top portion, the top, 30 records or so there. But remember, I'm missing a couple of columns off to the right to complete these records. When I go to page 2, I would expect to see those records or the continuation of these records. But instead, I'm seeing records that are down below the previous 30 records. And on top of this, I don't see the headers at the top. I don't see year and month and product and so on up there. No headers. They're missing. Okay? So I need to make a couple of adjustments here. I need to make sure that the headers stay put. They're always there. And when I go to page 2, I should see the continuation of page 1 records before I get into a whole new set of records. Okay? And this is all being caused because we got a large set of data that's spanning multiple pages in height and multiple pages in width. So let's fix this. So I'm going to go ahead and go back to Excel and hit the back arrow here at the top left corner. All right, so first I'm going to get my column headers here to repeat. Okay, every page the column headers should show up. So to fix this, I'm going to go up to the Page Layout tab, top of my screen. In Page Layout, you got a section called Page Setup. And in there, you have an option called Print Titles. I'll give that a click. This opens up your page setup window. I'm going to go to the Sheet tab, which is where I'm already at. And underneath the Sheet tab, I've got Print Titles, where I can do rows to repeat at top and columns to repeat at left. Well, I don't need columns to repeat, but I do want to repeat the rows. So I'm going to click into the Rows section, and I'm going to go select row number 4. That's it. Let's see what this looks like. So I'm going to go back down to Print Preview. Here's my Print Preview. There's page 1. There's my headers along the top. I'll go to page 2, and I still have the headers. Page 3, headers. Page 4, headers, and so on. Headers on every page. Okay, but you know what? I'm still having an issue here. These records are incomplete. I should still have a couple of columns off to the right. And when I go to the next page, this is when I should see them. But you know what? It's not till I get to page 10 that I see the continuation of page 1 records. That doesn't make a lot of sense. You know, for you, you're going to print this out and then have to reshuffle the pages, and then your page numbers will be off inside your footer. Ooh, that doesn't make a lot of sense. So now I need to change this. I need to change the order that I'm printing this document within. Take a look. Let me show you what's happening here. I'm going to hit the back arrow. Actually, first I'll go back to page 1. So I'm going to hit the back arrow. And I'm going to change my view for a moment to show you what's actually happening here. I'm going to go up to my View tab, and I'm going to change this to Page Break Preview. So if you can see it there, this first set of data right here is considered page 1. See it in kind of light gray there in the background, page 1. If I scroll down, there's the next page, there's page 2. There's page 3 and so on. But if I scroll back up, page 1 content bleeds into a page over here. And it's really small, but over here it says page 10. That's not right. Down here, this is page 11. Well, you know what? The way that we're printing this is we're going from top, down, and then back up and down. Kind of a zigzag, like a backwards N. Top, down, and then back to the top diagonally, and then down. What I want it to do is go from here to here. So this should be page 1. This should be page 2. This should be page 3. This should be page 4, and so on. So this is a super simple fix. Take a look. I'm going to go back to my page layout tab, and I'm going to go back into that print titles area. And the reason why I'm clicking on print titles is this will open up the page setup window. On the sheet tab, down at the bottom, you got page order. So right now it's going down, then over. So down, page 1, page 2, and then up to page 3 to page 4. I need it to go over and then down. So I'm going to change it to over then down. So now we're doing this kind of Z motion, right? Page 1, page 2, page 3, page 4. I hit OK. I'm going to go back to File and back to Print. All right, so there's my first page. There's what I'm expecting. I'll go to page 2, and there's the continuation. Go to page 3. I got a new set of records. Page 4 is a continuation of page 3 records. So a couple simple fixes here for larger sets of data. You can repeat the column headers. Get those headers to repeat on every page. That way you have them there and people can use them to identify the data. Also, think about your page order. If your page breaks aren't happening in the correct order, hop back into the page setup window and change the order your pages are being printed in. 2 simple fixes to manage larger documents within Excel. Try these out.